it got actually the qualitative part also. So here I am just talking about only one aspect and issue, the time when the women they are arrested up to the trial court, and although it's a more detailed study. Okay, so the first thing, what this study is all about, just to introduce you, this is regarding the different aspects and factors for the female crime in Pakistan. Pakistan, as you know, is one of the countries just where we got a kind of patriarchal society, and it's male dominated. So in such a situation of subjugation, we have got the women who are accused of crime and are charged under these crimes. So this was conducted in all the women prisoners, since there were 4 prisons there, exclusively for the women. And the objects of this study were to explore dimensions of female crime. This is one of the objectives which I am talking about today. The arrest, the custody trials, the custody period in the court trials of women prisoners. So it covers areas from the time woman is arrested, from which place arrested, who is arresting, by whom she is arrested, women are arrested, the details about whether they are the sole the accused and arrested on their charge, or they got some accomplice, some another partner, so co-accused. And then when they are in the prison, they have to get a lawyer, whether they have the lawyer or not, so different aspects of lawyers. And then in the judicial court decisions about this. So it was an exploratory study. It was conducted with the census population, so no sampling was done. Actually, it was already 100 in total. There were 107, in fact. So 7 did not participate in the study, and the 100 they participated in the study. So 7 were refusals. Actually, not the 7 refusals, 2 refused to, and the 5 the jail authorities did not allow to reach out them on their own reasons. So anyway, the 100 were there, and I went to all of them. Because already it was 100, the population was small, and then for the generalizability and all these things, I did not wait for the sampling. Including all the eligible and willing inmates present in the prison premises, no matter what was their age, their nature of crime, whether they were under the murder or kidnapping, all were included, and whether their status, they are under trial and were convicted. So here one thing because in Pakistan as well as other countries, we got some prisoners which are foreigners. So in Pakistan also there are so many women which are arrested under these charges from Nigeria and especially in some Middle East, Iran, and also from Malaysia. Few are from Malaysia there. So, but I included the nationals of Pakistan, the Pakistani women, because looking into their social background. So all foreign women were excluded. This was semi-structured questionnaire administered, and all the female data enumerators were selected. Likewise, Prof. Rashida told, so there were intensive training interviews, how to do and conduct this all interviews. The other questionnaire was due to some of the women did not want to talk to a male, due to cultural issues and religious, so female data collector they were elected. And then this simple frequencies and cross steps were done on the SPSS. So just give a little briefing. Maybe some of you don't know about the Pakistan. So in 1947, the British India was partitioned in India and Pakistan. Pakistan has got 4 provinces or states, like Malaysia has got 13. So, but the population is 180 million, so much population. It occupies a crossroads in the South Asia, bordering Afghanistan, Iran, West China, and India to the east. It has a population of about 180 million, of 95% are Muslims. Basically, we have got a class-based, male-dominant society with all these, the patriarchal patterns, which are even evident into the parliament, into all aspects of the life, from every day to the parliament. Last 2 years before, something around there were, if you heard, some women were injured, shot, they're wounded and buried alive because they wanted to marry on their own. And the senator, who was a sitting minister, he said, no problem, why are you raising the voice? It's our culture. So the person who's a minister, feudal minister, and the senator is having this kind of things. Okay, just one slide. What is the status of women in Pakistan? So as I told you, it's divided on the divisions of caste, the tribe, the clan, and class. These got very strong feudal and tribal values, and they are affecting the woman at every stage in their day-to-day life, from the home to their workplace. I'm just mentioning here, especially this thing. In 1985, there was a report by the Pakistan Commission on the status of women, and this is report not by an opposition party or not by an NGO, the government itself. There was the late General Zia, he was a military dictator, he appointed a person, and luckily the person was an honest person, and he came up with this report, but then this report was not made public. Just you can see the women in Pakistan are treated as possessions rather than self-reliant regulating humans. They are bought, sold, beaten, mutilated, and even killed with impunity and social approval. The average rural woman of Pakistan is born in slavery, leads a life of drudgery, and dies honorably in oblivion. So this is the situation how the woman's life is there. Okay. Now coming to this women prisoners, there has been quite very few studies, and the studies actually which have been done are more or less regarding the number of women prisoners, maybe 30 under the murder charges, 20 under the kidnapping, like this kind of data. So this was in fact the first study which goes very deep into all these, not only the variables but the situations, the factors, the aspects, and all the socio-economic trials, liars, NGOs, and when there once are a woman inside the prison, which facilities regarding the food, health issues, and accommodation, the skills they have or not, and the most important part of the study was the social reintegration issue also. So this was the study as a whole, but here I am presenting this one. So these are the few figures from some studies. As you can see, the number of women prisoners was very less. In 1980, there were only 70 female convicts in the whole country. You must remember in 1979, in Pakistan, this General Zia came in power, and he tried to impose his own version of Islam, and he introduced the Hudud laws. So as you might know, so this was the starting point in which the woman started suffering, and then on these laws, you know, they were arrested. So the number increases. That was a cutoff point. In 1983, all provinces has got out of 70, you know, 1,682 under the Hudud Ordinance. In 1984, 1,800. In 1988, there are 4,500 women. So after that, in 1986-88, the Benazir Bhutto came into power, Zia went off, and then all this. Okay, so this study of 1998, it comes that 80% of all female prisoners in Pakistan were illiterate. Even if you see the literacy rate, officially it is said that 60%, 40%, or 52% is illiterate, but on the ground we got a very low literacy rate. It never exceeds 30 or 32, like this kind of thing. And because in the 60%, even they include anybody who can read or write only name, they put it into the literate. And 90% they live in a monthly income of less than US $40. So now you can imagine we got very poor and poor socio-economic group. So this study also concluded that 69 lacked any formal education. Even in my study, which is not here, the 72% women, they were illiterate. Only out of 182 were literate, and by literate it means out of 28, 18 were having only primary education. So not the university or higher education. 26% can only read Quran. A small proportion had got the formal education, and 71% female from Pakistan's lowest income bracket. So this is a kind of background to it. Okay, now coming to my findings. When we see this, the women were not alone on their own. They did not commit the crime. There were, out of 100, 30 inmates had got the co-accused. Now, these were the 30 which the male, which were arrested on the same charges on the, when the woman was arrested, but these are the male who were arrested. There are more male who made their escape good by bribing, by using their influential power and everything. So women are arrested, but the man was there. In such a situation, the 30, it shows us some kind of good evidence that the woman is not all alone to do involved in crime. If it is there, there's behind the scenes a planner, an instigator, a motivator, the man is there. 22 inmates had got male accused. And we can see out of 30, 22 were from the family. The family member was involved in it. Whether it was a murder, whether it was a drug, whether it was a kidnapping. So, okay, yes, here comes it. So the categories on which the women were involved were kidnapping, drug trafficking, murder, murder of husband, and robbery and theft. So you can see all these things in kidnapping, trafficking, murder, even murder of husband, the family members, they were involved in it. So it was not only the single woman, because a woman who lives in such a, the subjugation and all this violence, how she can be, or even if she is pushed, you can see the realities that she is pushed to such an extent that she gets involved in that kind of crime. Even kidnapping here, actually kidnapping here, I must make it clear, sometimes kidnapping here is not like this, you go, it's not an organized crime here in this case. There's a bifurcation, two categories of kidnapping here. One was, in the larger cities, a woman was part of a mafia, a gang in which it was operated by men. And in rural areas, simply what happened that a feudal lord, a tribal head, kidnapped a person and then he put the person in the house of the peasant or farmer. So when the police came, they did not arrest the influential, they arrested these peasant farmers. So this is the aspect. Place of arrest, you can see more than 54 inmates, they were arrested while they were just doing household work, cleaning and all this thing. They were just, police come and arrested from there. Out of these 54, 45 of these were in three crime categories: murder, murder of husband, and kidnapping. My coming data is going to, putting you the scenario very clear. For drug trafficking, yes, we can see the 4 arrested at home, while 22 out of 26. On the drug trafficking charges, there were 26 women. You can see 22 out of 26 were arrested out of the home. 6 in the marketplace, 8 at the airport, 5 while traveling. So the drug trafficking, they were involved in it. They got their male accomplice, and even the place of arrest does support that they got these drugs. On the airport, they were in the trafficking, and the marketplace selling or delivering the drug. Why actually the more women, the highest number of the crime in which was drug trafficking? Because women are, they are used as a carriers and as a safe carrier. I had got my focus group discussions and in-depth interviews right from all the stakeholders, prison officials, police officials, journalists, tribal heads, religious heads, and from the Home Minister, I got the interview from the Ministry of Women Affairs. So all of them came up with this. What happens that in my country, due to law and order situation, we got on every highway road, we got the police pickets. So they stop every bus, every van and then check. But the women, they do not check out of the cultural, this kind of thing, that we are not going to search, body search for the woman. So these drug barons, these drug mafia, they use women as carrying the drugs from one police transporting to another as a safe carrier. So most of these were 26, and you can see at the marketplace at the airport. 9 women were arrested at the police stations. Now what happened, these 9 women, they were brought to the police station by their family members like this. Okay, no problem, we are going together. You have to just give the statement that while I was cleaning the home, I was cooking, this thing happened. And when the woman was there, the police got arrested the woman. 7 women were brought to the police station out of 9. You can see by the, the manured by the